Hello Virgo friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my video, Virgo April 2021 Astrology Must Knows. I'm going to give you all the reasons why I love April so much and why it's my second favorite month of the whole year. We're also going to talk about lots of things specific for your Virgo placement, including a string of aspects with the planet Uranus, the planet of surprises, that are going to be in the most favorable angle in all of astrology, the trine with your placement. So we're going to go into all of that. One quick admin note, I'm going to give you lots of details and you'll see as the video progresses just how much detail we'll get into. But if you want even more details, click on the more button with a little arrow underneath this video and it will reveal all of these notes with links to all of the free resources that I provide for you. And I do a ton every month, so you want to make sure to be utilizing those. Top on the list, sign up for my free email newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com and you will get a write-up of all the aspects of the month to note, the sweet ones, the salty ones, you know, what you can expect delivered into your inbox 1 month early, and you'll get my monthly sneak peek into all of the rest of 2021 when you are a member of my email community at anniehelpsyou.com. Okay, so let's break this down piece by piece. The first thing I want to talk about is why I like April so much and why it's my second favorite month of the whole year. In March, if you've watched my March report, if you haven't, you definitely want to do that because that is my favorite month of the whole year and I'll go into all those reasons why. But in April, we've got some similar energies. One thing is that we have more sweet aspects than salty ones. And unfortunately, like this whole year, there's only a few months where we actually have that going on. And it does set a tone for the month. It's not the be all end all, but it is a piece of the astrological picture that is noteworthy. And it's something to celebrate this April, that we do have more sweet aspects than ones that would be challenging. The second thing is that we don't have any of those heavy hitter difficult aspects. And this is another way that April is similar to March. January, February of 2021, plus most of the months of 2020, we had this strong outer planet, those, you know, big giants that are wreaking all this havoc coming together in this close mathematical proximity and or critical mathematical proximity, you know, causing issues as we've seen. So we don't have any of those, you know, really heavy aspects this month. And although we are going to start stepping into eclipse season, which I'll talk more about that later, we're not in the heat of the eclipse season yet. So we still are here like in a little reprieve from all of that, where you know, not in that time. We've got these extra sweet aspects. And something I like even more about April compared to March is that we have a massive amount of energy in Aries. And that's going to give us the momentum, the forward movement, the productivity, you know, the clarity to be able to see more than just a step ahead. This energy started to cook up towards the end of March, but now all of April has where we start to be able to see where we stand. We've had it going for so long that we couldn't do anything. Not only could we not do anything, we didn't know how long it was going to last, that we couldn't do anything, and we couldn't make any plans for the future whatsoever. So although all of the world problems are not solved in this month, we are going to start to have some clarity about moving forward in our own lives and, you know, with the restrictions and different kinds of things. Travel can start to open up for many people. Again, it's not going to be for everybody, but many people are going to start to see more travel this month. And if they're not going anywhere, they're going to start being able to plan trips and things like that. So it's, you know, very exciting. And then the planets start to move into Taurus, and that adds to the productivity. So let's break this down piece by piece. Now, in general, Aries energy makes a challenging aspect for Virgo. But that doesn't have to mean it's a bad month for you. That could just mean that the pressure's on for you to get some stuff done. Could be your taxes, you know, that the pressure's on, or the deadline. It could be something else, some kind of project. It could be that your work is doing really well, or that, you know, things are starting to open up in your life, but that means you're extra busy and so you have to show up for these things. It's the type of energy that looks like pressure, but it could be for really, really good things, like you're busy and that's a good thing, but the pressure's on. Okay, but as the month moves on, the second half of April is when the Sun and Mercury and Venus start to move into Taurus. And this is really great news for Virgo because now all of these planets start making trines. And you'll either get into a groove with the work you've been doing, or you'll start to like be able to ease up a little bit, or things will just start flowing smoother. You'll have a better experience of your productivity. But, you know, anytime we have anything going on in Earth, it's something to celebrate for Virgos because it speaks your language. Everything is a language in life. We have all of these different languages, right? So astrology is its own language. And then it's made up of a subset of all these different languages. The planets speak their languages, and the signs speak their languages, the elements speak their languages. And so when things are speaking the Earth language, you get that. And when people are speaking your language or someone's speaking your language, things make sense, right? So you've got that to look forward to this month. The sectors that are lighting up the most for you, well, are the relationships, basically. You've got, at this period of time every year, you've got this continued, sustained, multiple month focus on your relationships. And this is everything from, you know, or brings the potentials for new amazing relationships, key people to come in that can really help you. It could be romantic, context or expansion within your current relationship. It could be within a business context, or it could be like relationships with resources. This is an amazing month to apply for a loan and get it, to pay off credit or pay off debt, or get a plan together to pay it off. There's a massive amount of energy in your inheritance, financial planning, family estate planning, even sweepstakes and lottery. That is completely lit up for Virgos this month. So if you're getting the nudge to, play in a sweepstakes or embark on something where you could win something or go out for a grant or get some other kind of support from this 8th house. The 8th house is the house of, it's called other people's money, but it's also shared resources, but it's also help and support from other people, from the government, from your parents, from your spouse, from your business partner, from a random person. You find $20. Like, I remember times when I've had a lot of energy in here and I've seen some pretty interesting manifestations. I found a $20 bill on my walk and nobody was anywhere, just stuff like that. It's like supercharged in your field for your financial situation and for your business situation and for your deep relationship situation to have expansion. And that's also including, like, from the metaphysical perspective or the psychological perspective, expanding your connection with support from the ethers, from guides and angels and animal spirits and whoever else, you connect with in that plane. So you've got a lot of that going on. Okay, let's see what else. Your health sector is in the forefront in a long-term way, and there's a lot of pushing and pulling. You might be seeing some major gains while at the same time something else is, showing up as a problem, or it could be that you're experiencing, and this is really a good way to use this energy because you've got the energy of Saturn pushing and pulling with Jupiter. They have kind of opposite effects sometimes, but sometimes our greatest expansion comes from having restriction. So for instance, if you go on a diet, if you're like a special diet, if you get really regimented with your workout, if you've been having practitioners help you with your healing and nutrition or something, this is a time where your greatest growth will come from applying discipline in your health house. There are two really, really big issues that Virgos tend to have. One is worrying. My Virgo placements, my Virgo friends, they worry. They're like one of the biggest worriers of the zodiac. They worry about mostly other people's stuff, but they worry about their own stuff, but usually as it relates to being able to show up for other people, right? Virgo people want to be in service to other people. And if they don't have their stuff going well and they can't show up for other people, it really bothers them. So this is a time when applying discipline in the areas usually that you don't have it, right? Because a lot of people with Virgo placements have great discipline. So if I say you have to be more disciplined, you'd say, never mind that, Annie, I'm more disciplined than you have any idea. But if you look carefully in your life, you will see the areas that actually need more discipline. And there might be some areas that need less. So what's being called out for you is to have more discipline in the areas that actually need it, and to not avoid that by doing extra in other areas that are actually fine and shored up, okay? So health diagnostics, anything with your health, trying to get clarity, research, any kind of help there is really well supported at this time. You've got a lot of karma that's being worked out in your family space, and so belief systems, family patterning, ancestral, Well, we could say garbage, like literally things that people have believed that have been imprinted in your DNA, that you've got these belief systems. We create from our belief systems. What we believe, we create. And that's a little tricky because people get the conscious and the unconscious confused. So they say, well, I believe that I can, not work very much and make a lot of money. That is maybe your 10-ish% of your consciousness. But if you are not in that circumstance, then you have an unconscious belief that doesn't believe that. And this is a really big time for burning off things that your family believed. And it could be back many generations. And then you taking on that belief or that experience or that pattern. So you've got a really beautiful chance to just kind of blow up some of those stories and do something different. You also have a massive amount of support in your career and work sector. So you might find yourself feeling really ready to focus on your work in a really big way. You might also find yourself a little bit scattered with your work because the energies of Gemini rule the workspace for Virgos. So it lends a little bit of confusion. And this is like not just this month. This is like a life thing where you're doing this and 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 having a difficult time like really getting clear on what it is that you want to do. And your answer might wind up being you don't really want to do just one thing. You want to do more than one thing. And that would be okay if you just give yourself permission to have your fingers in a lot of pudding pies as your work situation. So like maybe you have an Etsy business, but then you also have a normal job and then, you do some part-time things here. You'll see if you know other Virgo people that there is this sort of all over the placeness, like a jack of many trades type of situation in your workspace. And so you might feel extra scattered now with that because Mars is going to be adding to your zest of like, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do this. Now, this is one of my favorite months of the whole year for anything important. Launches, new jobs, setting your business aflight, expanding your business, education to expand your business, education to retrain for another business. Anything having to do with any of that, or not even having to do with your work. This is one of my favorite months of the whole year for engagements, for weddings, for signing contracts, for moves, any of that. So we just have like really wide open stars. That's another reason why I just love, love, love this month. Now on April 11th, we've got the new moon in Aries, and we had the sun move into Aries March 20th, 21st, and that was the new astrological year. That's the kickoff for the new astrological year. But the kickoff party for the astrological new year is actually the new moon in Aries. And that is April 11th. So if you do vision boards or anything where you're trying to manifest the kinds of things you want to pull into your life, the days around April 11th are really powerful for seed planting and literally actually for your garden as well. But also, more figuratively, seed planting what you want to get into next, what things you want to create next. So April 26th, we have a full moon in Scorpio, and full moons bring fullness, completion, fruition, drama, elucidation, hidden things coming to light. So expect all of those things in the area of relationships. Relationships are going to be, very upfront and center here because Scorpio is all about relationships. But one of the things I wanted to point out is that because Scorpio makes a nice angle for Virgo, it's a 60-degree angle, which is the ingredients on the counter. I always talk about this, like if you have ingredients to make a dish on the counter, you've got them, you can make it. You have to do something with them to make the dish. But the opportunities come. And this is actually a month where there are a ton of 60-degree angles in the sky. And you've got a 60-degree angle with this particular full moon. So something's going to come up, you have to act on it. And this is a perfect month for action, so you're covered. But what I wanted to mention is that even though this is a nice angle for all Virgo placements, if you are like an August-born, early September-born placement, or you're close to 7 degrees, if you're watching for moon in Virgo, Virgo rising, Virgo sun, Virgo, even Venus or Mars. My reports are for you regardless of where your Virgo placement is, okay? It's just another layer of your complex astrological picture. But the closer you are to 7 degrees, the more you'll feel this in a positive way, because it'll directly tie in mathematically to your placement. The last 10 days of the month, we've got 3 aspects with the wild card planet Uranus. Uranus brings like things out of the blue. It brings sudden insights, sudden healing, surprise winning, surprise anything. And it could be for better or worse. But again, because this is occurring, the Venus, then Mercury, then the Sun are going to be conjunct with Uranus, which are going to combine forces with Uranus. And that all happens over the last 10 days of the month. But this is happening in Earth. Okay, so this is in Taurus. You are Virgo. This is making a nice angle for you. Now, again, this has potentials for every single Virgo placement. Nobody's being left out of this. But the closer you are to 10 degrees, or like the last few days of August and the first few days of September, you all in that group are getting some extra goodies this month. But if you're not in that group, don't feel bad. You still have lots of things crackling afoot as potentials for you too. But the closer you are to that 7 or 10 degrees, 7 for the full moon, 10 degrees for this series with Uranus, the more likely you are going to see very profound effects from this series of aspects. So, in general, this month has the chance to restore certainty. It has, like I said, seeing the future, being able to plan, increased optimism. It has like an increase in energy and supercharged ambition. If you had been feeling lazy and unsure in February and the first half of March, then towards the end of March and now all of April, you might find that your zest is coming back, your creative juices, all of your ideas, your ambitions, your, trying to expand out beyond just what you've got going on. That is likely to be, happening. The last thing that I want to talk about has to do with eclipse rumblings. Okay, so we've got eclipses every 6 months. We had them the last time in December and January. Now we've got them or November and December rather. And now we've got them in May and June. But 4 to 6 weeks before, sometimes even more, before the actual eclipse, which is May 26th, but you can see 4 to 6 weeks before May 26th, we're in April, right, is this eclipse season starts and the rumblings are starting. So you might start feeling changes coming. And you might start seeing manifestations of the eclipses. And this will have been in a pattern. So there will have been things that happened last summer and for winter for you all down under, like the June-ish, the May, June of last year, July, like that time frame. And then November, December, January, it would have come up again and then kind of faded into the backdrop. And now it's coming up again. And we're in the second to last eclipse series of the Sagittarius-Gemini cycle. And we've been seeing how the whole world has been restructuring everything having to do with Sagittarius and Gemini, which is gathering information, sharing information, all of the education, international connections. There's been a radical shifting around of energies with those areas of life. And so that's going to come into the forefront again for you personally, down to your personal level and out to the, community and the country and the global level. So big changes are coming. That's the bottom line. And that's what the eclipses bring. The eclipses tend to bring radical beginnings, new beginnings, dramatic endings, and, just kind of basically getting on track with your highest expression in a lot of ways. And always remember that the eclipses are working on the nodal plane. The nodes are the north node in the chart is your area of highest expression this lifetime. Your south node is the gifts that you came in with and the blocks that you have that are interfering with you living in your highest expression, like the karma. And so when it's eclipse time, it's a time of serious burning off of karma. Sometimes through challenging experiences, sometimes through amazing experiences. And then getting more on your highest trajectory. So we're about to step into that. And as the month goes on, you'll start to feel like the change crackling around. So in general, a very exciting month, full of exhilarating change and momentum. We haven't had a month like this, even when the stars had opened momentarily, in December and into January. We still had a lot of heaviness going on there because, you know, there were just so many other aspects. But this is the first time that we really have this like open pushing forward without simultaneous super heavy aspects. It's been a very long time since we've had a month like this. So hopefully it will push through everything that you've been working on and maybe some surprise things that you didn't even think of. I know I've given you a lot of information, but if you would like even more information on what's going on in the stars and what you can expect, then definitely utilize all of my free resources. You can click under this video on the More button with the little arrow, and it will reveal all of these links that take you to all of these different resources that I have. You'll definitely want to go to anniehelpsyou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter. It's positioned right there on the front page. It'll say Dear Friend, and it'll have a space for your name and email address, and you'll get my sweet and salty list, including a detailed write-up of the month 1 month early delivered into your inbox, plus other goodies. You'll also get access to my 2021 Happy Scopes, which gives you an overview of each month of 2021, so you get a super sneak peek into all of the months ahead for 2021 and what to celebrate, what to watch out for, and how you can make lemonade in situations where there are some lemons. You can also get my Shine, my 28-day virtual coaching program for free when you sign up for my free email newsletter. So I give lots of goodies to my email community, and you can become a part of that by going to anniehelpsyou.com and signing up there. If you want written horoscopes 1 month early, written by me, and then also other lifestyle blogs, then you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com and check out all the goodies there. It's a beautiful, beautiful site. It's worth a peek just to check out how pretty it is. And there's lots of great information for your astrology-kissed life. If you want to have some free courses, you can go to my school, Luminous Life Multiversity, at lumelife.com, L-U-M-E. life.com. You can see my free courses there, including Unleash Your Money Magnet if you're trying to work on manifesting more money. And you can also see my paid courses there, including my crazy in-depth Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery course that will prepare you to do whatever you'd like to do with astrology, whether it's for your own self-development, helping your family and friends, or actually doing astrology as all or part of your profession. Also, check out my new book, Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe, which you can find anywhere and everywhere. It's actually in the physical locations of every Barnes & Noble and Books A Million in the United States, and in many stores abroad, and everywhere online. And you can also see my other book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life in the World in 28 Days. And you can find that anywhere online as well. So I hope you have a wonderful month. Make sure you look at all the resources underneath the video, click the More button, and I'll see you next month. Bye.